Welcome to our explainer video on the power of habits, understanding how they form and change. Today we'll dive into the fascinating world of habits and how they shape our daily lives. Think about it. How many times have you gone through your morning routine without even thinking about it? Brushing your teeth, making coffee, checking your phone, these are habits in action. Over the next few minutes, we'll uncover the science behind these automatic behaviors and explore how understanding them can unlock incredible potential in your life. So, let's start with the basics. What exactly is a habit? Simply put, a habit is any behavior that's repeated regularly and tends to occur subconsciously. Think about it. You don't have to consciously think about how to tie your shoes or ride a bike. You just do it. That's because your brain loves efficiency. Your brain is constantly looking for ways to conserve energy. And one of the ways it does this is by automating repetitive tasks. This automation frees up your mental bandwidth to focus on more complex, less familiar challenges. At the heart of this automation is the brain's reward system. When you engage in a behavior that leads to a positive outcome, your brain releases dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This dopamine hit reinforces the behavior, making you more likely to repeat it in the future. Over time, with enough repetition, the behavior becomes ingrained in your neural pathways, and voila, a habit is born. Let's break down how habits work. In The Power of Habit, I introduce the habit loop: cue, routine, reward. The cue triggers the habit. It could be a time of day, location, or emotional state. For example, feeling tired in the afternoon. The routine is the behavior, the habit itself, like grabbing a cookie. The reward reinforces the habit. It could be a physical sensation or emotional state. Over time, cue, routine, reward becomes automatic. How does the habit loop get established? Through context-dependent repetition. Repeating an action in response to a cue strengthens neural pathways. Think about learning to drive. Initially, every action requires effort. With practice, actions become automatic. The same applies to any habit. Consistency is key to building habits. Rewards don't have to be big. Even small rewards reinforce habits. Repetition wires the habit into your brain. Chapter 4. Breaking Bad Habits. Now let's talk about the flip side of the coin: breaking bad habits. We all have habits we wish we could change, whether it's procrastinating, overeating, or spending too much time on social media. Breaking a habit can feel incredibly challenging because you're essentially trying to disrupt established neural pathways. But don't worry, it's not impossible. The key is to understand the habit loop, the cue, routine, and reward, and then find ways to disrupt it. One effective strategy is to identify your triggers. What are the cues that set your bad habit in motion? Once you know your triggers, you can start to avoid them or develop new coping mechanisms. For example, if you tend to snack when you're stressed, try finding healthier ways to manage stress, like exercise or meditation. Another strategy is to replace the routine. Instead of engaging in the unwanted behavior, find a new, healthier behavior to substitute it. For instance, if you have a habit of biting your nails, try keeping a stress ball or a fidget toy handy to occupy your hands. Chapter 5. Building New Habits. Just like breaking bad habits, building new habits requires effort and consistency. But the good news is that the same principles of the habit loop apply. One of the most effective ways to build a new habit is to start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Instead, focus on making one small change at a time. For example, if you want to start exercising regularly, don't try to go from 0 to 5 days a week at the gym. Start with a 10-minute walk every day and gradually increase the duration and intensity over time. Another helpful strategy is to anchor your new habit to an existing habit. This is called habit stacking. For instance, if you want to start meditating every morning, try meditating for 5 minutes immediately after you brush your teeth. This way, you're using the existing habit of brushing your teeth as a cue to trigger the new habit of meditation. Remember, consistency is key. The more consistently you perform the new behavior in response to the chosen cue, the stronger the habit will become. Chapter 6. The Role of Environment in Habits. We often underestimate the power of our environment in shaping our habits. The truth is, our surroundings play a critical role in influencing our behavior. Think about it. If you keep junk food on your kitchen counter, you're much more likely to snack on it than if it's tucked away in a cupboard. The good news is that you can leverage this knowledge to your advantage. By designing your environment to support your desired habits, you can make positive change much easier. For example, if you want to read more, try keeping a book on your bedside table or downloading audiobooks to listen to during your commute. Similarly, if you're trying to cut back on social media, try deleting the apps from your phone or using website blockers to limit your access. The goal is to reduce reliance on willpower and make habit formation more intuitive. When your environment supports your goals, it takes less effort to stick to your desired behaviors. Chapter 7. Willpower versus systems. We often talk about willpower as if it's some magical force that allows us to achieve our goals. While willpower is certainly important, it's a finite resource that can fluctuate throughout the day and be easily depleted. Instead of relying solely on willpower, a more sustainable approach is to create systems that support your goals. Think about it. If you have to rely on willpower to resist that tempting dessert every night, you're setting yourself up for an uphill battle. But if you simply don't buy the dessert in the first place, you eliminate the decision altogether and make it much easier to stick to your healthy eating goals. This is the power of systems. By automating decisions, removing temptations, and creating structures that support your desired behaviors, you can make progress towards your goals without having to constantly rely on willpower. You might be thinking, okay, habits are interesting and all, but why do they matter so much? The answer lies in the compound effect. Small habits, even seemingly insignificant ones, can have a profound impact on your life over time. Think about it. If you improve just 1% each day, whether it's your productivity, your health, or your relationships, those small improvements compound over time, leading to significant long-term results. On the flip side, negative habits, even seemingly harmless ones, can also compound over time, leading to negative consequences down the road. This is why it's so important to be mindful of our habits, both good and bad. By understanding the power of the compound effect, we can harness the power of small, consistent actions to create big changes in our lives. Building new habits and breaking old ones isn't always easy. We all face challenges along the way. The good news is that many of these challenges are common, and there are proven strategies for overcoming them. One common challenge is inconsistency. Life gets in the way, motivation wanes, and it's easy to fall off track. One solution is to anticipate these obstacles and create a plan for dealing with them. For example, if you know you tend to skip workouts when you're traveling, pack your workout gear and research gyms or fitness classes in advance. Another challenge is perfectionism. Striving for perfection can be paralyzing and prevent you from even starting. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are valuable learning opportunities. Instead of striving for perfection, aim for progress. Celebrate small wins and focus on making incremental improvements over time. Ultimately, habits are about more than just individual behaviors. They shape our identity. When you identify as someone who embodies a certain habit, it becomes easier to stick to it. For example, if you see yourself as a healthy person, you're more likely to make choices that support that identity, like eating nutritious foods and exercising regularly. The key takeaway here is this: focus on becoming the type of person you aspire to be, and the habits will follow. Start by asking yourself, who do I want to be? Once you have a clear vision of your desired identity, you can start aligning your habits with that vision. Remember, change takes time and effort. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never underestimate the power of small, consistent actions. Thank you for watching. We hope this video helps you understand the power of habits and how to harness them to build a better future. Remember, your habits don't define you. You have the power to change them. Start small, be consistent, and don't be afraid to experiment with different strategies until you find what works best for you. The journey of habit change is a marathon, not a sprint. Embrace the process and enjoy the transformative power of small changes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.